Mambo ni matatu.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've always opined on this platform on many occasions that in politics nothing happens out of mere coincidence, and that everything in politics is normally well planned, well scripted, and executed to achieve a specific political objective. Nothing in politics just happens for the sake of it. Yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua said something which for me was intended to achieve certain political objectives. Rigathi Gachagua revealed that Johana Ng'eno was receiving death threats from senior government officials before he died. In this video, I want us to look at why Rigathi Gachagua is claiming that some senior government officials were sending death threats to Johana Ng'eno. Because facts are also stubborn. One of the reasons why Rigathi Gachagua was removed from office was because Rigathi Gachagua in 2024 was in Kisumu here with President Ruto. And then in his hotel room, Rigathi Gachagua was recorded by NIS talking to Johana Ng'eno for 4 good hours. And the content of what they spoke about is actually the reason why the decision to kick Rigathi Gachagua out of office was arrived at. And you remember the speed at which he was kicked out. And of course, we also know that Johana Ng'eno was one of those firebrand political leaders from Nyandarua County. I want you guys to listen to Rigathi Gachagua. Pay very close attention to what he's saying.
The Honorable Johana Ng'eno is my great friend, and he is my political ally and a confidant, and he has been very close to me for a very long time. In Kisumu, he called me before I was hounded out of office, and he told me what William Ruto is planning, and he was very disturbed. And he felt that by Ruto doing what he intended to do, he would destabilize his own government. And I was in Kisumu, he came to see me. And once Ruto learned that he was coming to see me in Kisumu, he sent the National Intelligence Service to bag my room so that he can record the conversation between me and Johana Ng'eno. And we had a big discussion, and he told me what he was going through and the way he was being persecuted for fighting for the rights of the Kipsigis people. He told me that a plan had been hatched to remove me from office because I was also fighting for the interests of my community the way he was fighting for his community. And he told me he was opposed to it, and he felt the president would destabilize his own government, which has happened. And he said he would do whatever he needs to try to persuade him. And immediately the recording was taken to William Ruto. He was summoned, and he was thoroughly intimidated, and he was a very worried man. So when it came to the impeachment process, he came to see me and showed me messages that William Ruto had sent him, threatening him that if he doesn't impeach me, he would face dire consequences. And he was crying. He came at 2 a.m. in the morning. And I listened to him, and I told him, the die is cast. Ruto has the numbers, he has bought everybody. Even if you don't sign that impeachment, it will change nothing. Instead of endangering you and your life and your family, just go ahead and sign. He signed with a lot of tears. The same happened to Muhammad Ali, the MP for Nyari. He was also thoroughly intimidated, and he shared me with the messages Ruto was sending them from the United States. Since then, I've been talking to Ngeno, and he has been under a lot of siege from Kipchumba Murkomen and Aaron Cheriot, trying to suppress his ambition to be the leader of the Kipsigis community. As late as last Sunday, we talked with Ngeno, and I told him I'll go through Bomet, and he did encourage me to go through Bomet. After I went to Bomet, I was well received. He called to thank me for articulating the challenges facing the people of Kipsigis community. We don't want to say anything But we want to call for thorough investigations so that the truth can be known. The Kipsigis people have had many challenges. Anytime a leader has emerged to lead the community, he has faced challenges. Kipkalia Kones also died in a helicopter crash and was a great leader of the Kipsigis community. Johana Ng'eno has died in a crash. As we call for investigations, I must say that Kipchumba Murkomen cannot be CS Interior, and the family of Ngeno and the Kipsigis community and other Kenyans expect fair and transparent investigations, because Kipchumba Murkomen has been fighting Mheshimiwa Ngeno.
That's Rigathi Gachagua. And the senator for Kisumu, Richard Onyonka, also revealed that probably Johana Ng'eno was eliminated because of his refusal over some land issue in Narok. Listen in.
Na hii Kenya lazima tutaibadilisha, tuache zile tabia zetu mbaya. Zile tabia mbaya ndizo Ruto amebeba. Wizi, kuua watu, kuchukua mashamba ya watu. I believe, even though I don't have the evidence, Ngeno has been killed because he refused to sign the land which has got rare minerals kule Kilgoris. Thank you, sir.
So in this video, I want us to ask ourselves several questions. Before we do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support. Because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to dive in, and very fast, I want to ask the first question. Who wanted Johana Ng'eno out? That is the biggest question. Because if you listened to Rigathi Gachagua's speech, he dragged the name of Kipchumba Murkomen. Of course, Johana Ng'eno was a politician, which means someone might have wanted him out for political reasons. And number two, Johana Ng'eno was one of the people fighting for the land in Narok. Again, someone might want him out over his stand. But the other important question which I want to ask, was Johana Ng'eno a serious threat to William Ruto's re-election? Because if you listened to Rigathi Gachagua, there is something which is not saying openly, but you can tell the direction he is headed to. And that's why I'm asking you guys, was Johana Ng'eno a threat to William Ruto's re-election? My answer to that is both yes and no. But a bold no. I doubt if Johana Ng'eno was a threat to Ruto after Ruto became the president. Of course, he wanted to be the kingpin. And even the day he died, this is what he said.
Kura saa hii imebaki mwezi kama 16 hivi ndio tupige kura. Na tunataka tupige kura ya amani. Na hatutaki makelele mingi. Tunataka tupige kura ya amani, na tunajua kwa kazi mzuri yenye rais amefanya. Kwa kazi mzuri yenye rais William Samoei Ruto amefanya. Kwa kazi mzuri ambayo amefanya, tutapea yeye awamu ya pili. Kama namna gani? Tutapea yeye awamu ya pili. Kwa hivyo sisi hatuna shida na mtu. Wale ambao wanatembea saa hii, kama yule alikuwa naibu wa rais, kama yule alikuwa minister wa interior, kama yule mwingine alikuwa wapi, watembee tuwaone. Tuwaone. Hakuna shida. Si watu wanatembea? Wengine walikuwa na kazi, watuoneshe walifanya nini. Wengine walikuwa na jukumu kubwa, watuoneshe walifanya nini. Siku ya kupiga kura, tutasahihisha kila mtu based on your work, based on your performance. Hakuna mtu atapewa ati kwa sababu ya sura, ati kwa sababu anajua kuongea mingi, kuna kitu kama hiyo. Sisi tunakupea kazi kulingana na kazi ambayo umefanya nini. Tukose.
So which means Johana Ng'eno was ambitious. But he was very ambitious. But He wanted Ruto to complete his term. Then after that, probably, he was then now going to emerge or to find his place as the next kingpin from Rift Valley. And of course, you can understand why he was doing whatever he was doing, especially defending the rights of the Mak community, their land, and emerging as one of the serious defenders of human rights from Rift Valley. But I doubt if he was a threat to William Ruto's re-election. I doubt. Number 3, and this is a question which is not very important. Why is Rigathi Gachagua dragging the name of Murkomen in this death? I know for sure that Murkomen and Johana Ng'eno were probably competing politically. So the truth is, Rigathi is a very interesting politician. He knows how to whip the emotions. There's the Kalenjin politics down there, the Kipsigis, the Nandis there. And that's what he's trying to bring on board. As far as William Ruto's succession politics is concerned in Rift Valley, 3 names, 3, were emerging very strongly. Johana Ng'eno, Aaron Cheruiyot, and Kipchumba Murkomen. Those 3. But Rigathi is, can I say, let me just use this word, you'll forgive me, is so tribal that he's even trying now to divide the Kalenjin into their sub-tribes. And that's why the narrative he started is even picking traction.
Siku ya machishi, sitaki Mnandi, sura ya Mnandi. Wakati tunaomboleza kushika hao watu ambao wamekufa, sitaki nione sura ya Mnandi. Haki ya Mungu, usijaribu. Bora wewe ni Mnandi. Nataka niambie Kipsigis, tutulie kwa saa hii, waje niombe hao mandugu zangu, wakina Douglas Kanja, wakina Mohammed, all protocol of security, tunataka justice, tujue hii shamba anatuhangaisha kwa nini. Na sisi ni jamii, na Mungu alitubariki. Watu wangu wako Mau, anakufa na pneumonia. Kuna watu wengine Longisa, wamekaa karibu mwaka 2, hajaipata mali ya kuwekwa.
And my 4th question, was Johana Ng'eno the silent force behind Rigathi Gachagua's success in Narok? Because Rigathi Gachagua from nowhere is emerging as a very serious political force amongst the Mak community. And I've been asking myself, who is behind this? You remember the by-election in Narok, how he performed. And because Rigathi was impeached as a result of his conversation with Ngeno, could it be possible that Ngeno was silently supporting Rigathi Gachagua and someone was not happy? I don't know. But that's a question I'm just asking myself. And maybe that's why Rigathi Gachagua is very bitter, because remember the day Johana Ng'eno passed on, even before the death was confirmed, Rigathi Gachagua was already on top of a vehicle announcing the death of Johana Ng'eno. But my last question, was the death of Johana Ng'eno an accident, or was it political elimination? If you are to ask me, as much as he was a vibrant politician, Johana Ng'eno's death was as a result of the carelessness of the pilot, who apparently comes from my village. Video evidences have shown that he had trouble taking off. He tried, after some point, he took off. The videos there, he actually took off after some time. Then he could not move very far. He came back, stayed there for around 5 minutes, then took off again. The visibility and everything were clearly off. So for me, this was an accident, which is now being politicized. I don't know whether it's good for the country or not, but there is another chopper which Kenyans are warning politicians not to use. Because they've also observed that that chopper has been struggling. And because the demands of choppers are currently very high because of the political activities, they will still use it. And will still just come here, mourning more politicians as a result of death through chopper. It's only my MP, Adumo War, who will not, he will die through either road accident or, but not through chopper. Because I doubt if he will board any of those choppers. He's too careful for life. I don't know what you think. This is my take. Until next time, this is Makwiny. Bye-bye.